Today is Tuesday. So what does that mean? It's Tuesday, January 13th. That could only mean one thing: on air with Russell of Hotels. You know, that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. Man, it's show number, what show is it? 327 today. Ah, this is a monologue section. Okay, so this is a monologue. The show hasn't started yet. So if you're, getting your popcorn together, getting your drinks together, maybe you got a cold beer that you want to, enjoy. Well, most people are at work. I'm sorry. Um, if you have a cold drink you just want to go run and get it, because this is a monologue. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes to talk. Then we'll start the show. So let me just make sure. In fact, let me make sure, or let me check on something which never works anymore. It's funny. I used to be able to go live on Instagram, but for whatever reason, it's not cooperating anymore. I mean, it used to be just an easy thing to do, and it stopped doing it. It stopped being easy. It just stopped doing it. I don't know why. Why would it do that? I don't know. I don't know. But that's okay. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. But I have two Facebook pages. So Russell Edmond, not Russell L. Edmond, Russell Edmond, RussellEdmond. Go to that page, and that's what we're live on. And then also on Twitch, because I found out that a lot of gamers use Twitch, and guess what? Gamers use hotels. Gamers will use hotels. They will use the conference centers and convention centers and meeting space, providing they have enough bandwidth and all that stuff to do their gaming. I mean, there's gaming meetings, conferences, conventions, all that stuff. So, hey, if you're a gamer, you're on Twitch, you need some help with that, hello, give me a call. Reach out and touch. So yeah, and then also on, no, I guess that's it. So LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Now, if something miraculously happens and all of a sudden Instagram wants to, stop acting up, we'll be live on there as well. But as of right now, we are not. So once again, this is the monologue part of the show. Feel free to make comments. I love comments. I love the chat. So just go into the chat, make your comments, say, hey, what's going on? Say, what the hell, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and say it. And if it's something that's worthy enough for me to put it on the screen so the whole world can see it, I will do that. That's not a problem. So I'm just, like I said, I just like to fine tune things, make sure it sounds good, pictures good, looks okay. Make sure I have my notes right here next to me. So anything new going on? I mean, I'm not sure if you checked out yesterday's daily check-in, the one that I do with Miss Tiffany English. She comes on Monday mornings. That we had a great one yesterday. So if you have not checked that out, just go check out the replay. Just say LinkedIn or YouTube. They're both right. Either one of those platforms is there. So check it out. We always have some good conversations about meetings and what we look for as meeting planners, meeting professionals, or hotel site selection people. Things that, salespeople could maybe learn a little bit from, hotel salespeople, DMO salespeople. So yeah, so just check it out. So it's not anything bad, it's just about giving information, right? So, and that's what this is all about. It's about sharing my story, and then just sharing information that I think will be beneficial to the world of hospitality. If you're in that world of hospitality, there's some good stuff that happens, right? There's a lot of good stuff that happens. And, we talk about the good stuff, but there's always some challenging things, or maybe some things we can do correctly. I mean, not correctly, do better. Okay, I'm saying correctly. There's always things we can do better. Okay, so there you go. Let's see. Okay, so we have a topic for today. I have a hotel that I'm showing. I never do one of these shows and not showcase a hotel or a destination. And today will be a good one. And so anyway, let's just get this thing started. So I'm gonna start the what do you call it? Is it called the intro? The intro to the show. Yeah, I'll start the intro to the show, and we'll be back to start the show. And we're gonna do that in 2 and 2. Okay, is that good? Does that work? I can't even speak. I'm so excited I can't even speak. Be right back. Hey, Russell Hotels back for the show. Hope you guys are doing well. Once again, this is show number 327. Now, I hope that sound was working because I could not hear that. And normally I hear the sound. So I don't know what that's all about. That's all I need right there, huh? That's just all I need. Let me see if this one, hold on a second. I have to test something. I just have to test it. Let me do it again because I still couldn't hear the sound. So hopefully someone's out there saying, I can hear you. It's okay. You're good. And let me just go ahead and let me see something. Let me see something. Audio. Hello, testing, testing, testing. Well, that seems to be working. That seems to be working. At least you can hear me, I believe. So you may not have been able to hear the sound on the video that I just did, but we're gonna go ahead, right? And we'll worry about that later, right? Let's just worry about that later. Okay. So anyway, once again, thank you so much for joining on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show number 327. Yes, I've done 327 of these shows and counting. There's no slowing down. Ain't no stopping us now. So yeah, it's no stopping us now. We're going to continue. Maybe we can do, you think we can do another 300 shows? Well, you know what? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do another 300 shows. We're gonna see from that. But let's just take it a step at a time. Let's get to 350. Let's get to 400. Let's just kind of do that, right? But I never try to, you know, I don't want to be so fast. I don't want to be so quick to get there already, right? So we get there when we get there, and that's all that matters, right? Because there's a lot of information to talk about, a lot of things that are going on in the hospitality industry, and so we just want to take our time and get there whenever we get there. So if it's meant for us to be there, then we'll get there. If it's not, that's okay too. We'll do something else. So we'll do something else. So, and that's okay. So anyway, let me show you the hotel, and I'll just give you a hint. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. You guys know that song, right? Okay, that's a hint. So what hotel would it be if I'm saying that? Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Waiting for that, was it looking for that lost shaker of salt? I think that's what they say. I think those are words, right? I think, okay. So anyway, of course, yeah, Margaritaville. So Margaritaville is a brand, a separate brand of hotels, and I'm not sure how many they have, but I know there's one in San Diego. I think there's one in New York, one in Lake Conroe, which is right outside of Houston, Texas, about an hour outside of Houston, Texas. That's the one I'm going to showcase today. And I know there's one in Florida as well. So there's several of them. There could be several in Florida, but there's several of them within the US. And I love the vibe there. Families, but this one has convention space, right? So it has like within steps of the main building, like there's a tower with the restaurants, the pool, and everything like that. And then maybe I'm gonna say 50 yards from the front of the hotel, there's a convention center, a separate convention center. So you can do your meetings over there and then everything else as far as activities and all that. And it's lakefront. It's a lakefront property. So you got boating. I'm not sure if you can fish, but I would think you can fish somewhere on Lake Conroe. I'm not sure if you can fish right there in front of closer to the hotel, but I'm sure there's fishing. There's a lot of water sports that you can do there. It was actually pretty cool, right? Pretty unique. So once again, it's about an hour from Houston, and it was just, yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time, and bars everywhere, right? So you can only imagine Margaritaville has a lot of drinking places, right? So yeah, definitely that. You could not have a Margaritaville without a bunch of bars there, and definitely if you're looking for that, and they have several pools, including like a lazy river and a couple other pools, a kid pool as well. So it's good for families and maybe family. I can see families. I can see family reunions. I could see some corporate stuff as well. Maybe not your high end corporate, but maybe, some meetings, you're just going to go there for a little while and then spend a lot of time with your family. I could see that as well. So definitely a lot of options at the hotel. So real quick, the specifics of the hotel: 335 guest rooms, or no, 335 suites. It's an all suite property, very nice. And I'll show you at least my room. 72,000 square feet of meeting space. So, which means it has ample space for you to do whatever you need to do. Lakefront, can't beat that. And it's a four diamond hotel. So, look up four diamond. One day I'm gonna do, what do the diamonds mean? Okay, because people will throw out stars like there's no tomorrow. Well, stars are not the right system. Well, they're the system for the third parties. They are not the right system for, if you're a hotel, you shouldn't be saying, "Oh, I'm a three-star hotel." Well, based on who? Who told you that? Where are you getting that information from? Diamonds are, if you're like a four diamond hotel, that means triple A has come in, somebody, a representative from triple A has come in and has evaluated your hotel. They go through this whole, I don't know, 30-page list of things that you should have or you should do, things that separate you from a three diamond hotel to a four diamond hotel. There's services that you need to have in order to get from a three diamond to a four diamond, from a four diamond to a five diamond. There's certain services in place that you have to have: valet parking, restaurant. The hours of the restaurant are important. Valet service hours. Is there a spa? I mean, is there a pool? I mean, there's a lot of things. How many restaurants do you have? Those are things. What's the thread count on your sheets? How big are your TVs? There's a lot of things involved with going from a three diamond to a four diamond to a five diamond hotel, right? It's not just what people that stay there say. It's not about that, right? So people can say anything, right? So they can say, "Oh, this is great service, and it's 5 stars, and it's a courtyard." Well, just think about that. Just think about the brands, and if you see, a five stars next to a courtyard, and I love courtyard. And I'm not. This is no knock, no shade on a courtyard, but in the diamond world, a courtyard can never be a five diamond hotel. That's not going to happen because they don't have the services. But maybe people are ranking like, the room was clean. Okay, okay, that's good. It should be clean, right? Or someone was nice to them. Okay, that's fine too. I mean, yeah, there's some things there, but they have a pool. Okay, they have a pool, but what are the services at the pool? They have a restaurant. Is the restaurant open? Courtyards don't open their restaurants 3 day the 3 meal periods. They open maybe a breakfast and maybe a dinner. Some courtyards only have breakfast only. So there's no way it can be a four, five diamond, three diamond hotel. But anyway, so there's a difference between stars and diamonds, just so you know. So, and later on another show, I'll talk about that because people always ask me, like, what is it? You always talk about diamonds versus stars. I know the stars. Yeah, okay, you know the stars, but that is not the system that hotels take to the bank. Okay, they don't. Okay, so, but anyway, once again, Margaritaville, Lake Conroe, Texas, outside of Houston, 335 suites, 72,000 square feet of meeting space. It's lakefront. And yes, it's a four diamond hotel. So feel free to make your comments. Like I said, there we go. Oh, you know what? One thing I didn't mention, there's a QR code right here, right? I mean, over here in the corner. You see next to the bed, up high, next to the bed. I'm just saying that. There's a QR code, so feel free to take your camera and take a picture of the QR code. It's just information about me or about my website and stuff like that. So there's a feature on here that I was looking at, and I'm like, what is this for? What's this QR code thing? And I didn't even pay attention to it. So I happened to have a conversation with someone last week who knows a lot of, familiar with a lot of these platforms that we use to do shows like this. And he said, hey, the newest thing is have your QR code while you're having your show. And I'm like, there's a QR code thing on here, but I've never used it. He said, you should use it. So I take people's advice. I listen and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I filled it out, completed it. Boom, there you go. So there's a QR code. It'll be throughout the show, so you don't have to do it right now. You can wait to the end of the show if that's what you want to do. But it's there, right there in the left hand corner, if that's what you want to do. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that as I moved on. So once again, this is my guest room. So this is my bedroom, right? And it says, what does it say? Changes in attitude. Yes, they have little sayings around on beds or on pillows and things like that. So it's kind of cool. So that's actually my bedroom. Nice size bedroom. Bathroom was nice as well. I don't think I have a picture of that. And then, like I said, these are all suites. So here's a separate room, a separate living room. So you come in one way, you see the balcony right there, views of the lake and the property and the pool. Very nice. And that bed, of course, or the couch does open up into a sofa. So if you have family, of course, you got to have that. If you got family, you got to have that. Meeting space. So this is one of their meeting spaces, one of their meeting spaces, one of their meeting rooms. Uh, you can see that. Very nice. And like I said, it's in a separate, all their meeting spaces in a separate building. It's not part of the hotel. It's right across. You just walk across, maybe, like I said, maybe 40 yards or something like that from the front entrance of the hotel. And it's there. So it's totally separate. Everything's separate. So you don't get, you know, a lot of people moving around trying to get to their meetings and crowding the lobby and taking up all the elevators and things like that. No, it doesn't happen over there. So it's definitely something to check out and see. And one unique thing about this, so check this out. Okay, so I don't know if I took photos or I'm not sharing them with you today because I don't remember if I did or not. But these things right here, these are cabins. And the picture, the photo that I'm showing you does not give it justice. So these, I want to say there's probably about 30 of these cabins that are separate from the hotel. So you have to, if you kept walking the opposite direction of where this sidewalk is going, you can see the hotel from there. It's not far from the hotel, but it's separate space. You can see it's kind of lakefront right there. People they do. I think you can do barbecues there. I think you can fish from there. You can have boat slips right there as well. I thought it was the most unique thing. And I was thinking for like a family reunion, because each one of these little bungalows or cabins, if you will, they sleep like six people. They have like an upstairs loft and a downstairs and little kitchen and it's just so nice. Oh, just so cute. So for family reunions, I thought this would be ideal for a family reunion. So if you're interested in that, you need to check it out. Margaritaville, Lake Conroe. Say, I want the cabins. I want the cabins. I got 50 people for a reunion. We're getting together. They probably would rent all those out for you. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not sure if the cabins are counted in the 335 rooms. Yeah, I'm not sure if they are, but definitely part of the property and definitely something that you can reserve for your group. And once again, this more meeting space right here. This is actually the room that we had used. So yeah, so very nice, very nice. And then this is the view from my guest room. So you can see the pool right there, the pools. You see the lake. You see how huge that lake is, right? And there's boats that you can rent and all kind of, like I said, all kind of water stuff that you can do while you're there. So yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. As you can see, it's really cool, right? Don't you think so? I think you do. So okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so the topic. So I'm always gonna have a topic, right? Some people may like the topic, some people may not. Feel free to make comments. That's on you. Let me just click on something one more time. I don't know why I keep doing that. Kind of a nervous habit. I just keep clicking over and say, "I wonder if this is gonna work now." Well, no, it's not gonna work. It's not working. So, but yeah, feel free to make comments. Topic for today: why hotels and destinations should market more and sell less. Yeah, I said it. I said that. Now, you always do things, at least I do. I do things for like shock value, okay? I know we're not going to sell less, and that would be silly to even think that. But the important thing here is why hotels and destinations should market more. Okay, they should brand themselves, market their brand, because there's marketing, there's selling, there's branding under the marketing umbrella. Okay. So what I mean is, marketing your brand more than selling it. Because selling, we're going to do it. We have sales managers. We're going to go out. We're going to sell. We're going to be in front of people. I understand that. But what we what we tend to forget, or we don't put enough emphasis on, is marketing. We're not, making that phone ring like it should. Okay. Or we're not being as visible as we should. We're not being as consistent as we should. Because going to do sales calls, or going to trade shows and all that, that's fine, right? Being in front of people, that's fine. But how often can you do that? Can you do that more than if you were marketing? No, you can't. You can't. There's just no way you can do that. So we need to take advantage, we, meaning hotels, destinations, we need to take more advantage of the marketing aspect. We know that sales is a relationship business, and we need to make sure we're doing that, right? Because a lot of people go and they don't know how to form relationships either. Okay, that's another story. That's another subject, another topic for another time. Because I go to these shows all the time, and the first thing they do is asking for business. A lot of salespeople, they're asking for business. Well, guess what? Probably 99% of the people that go to these shows, they don't walk away with business. 99% of the hotels that go to these shows do not walk away with business. Okay. So what should you do? You should walk away with a relationship, at least, right? Where they don't forget about you. They remember you. They remember your property, but it all starts with you. And people tend to forget that the brand is you. You just happen to represent another brand, right? But the brand is you as a person, the person that, maybe you're nice, maybe you're not. I don't know. But it's about forming that relationship. Okay. That's first and foremost. Before we get to any kind of business, we need to form a relationship. And those are things that we forget about. But anyway, we're not talking about that for the most part, but we're talking about why hotels and destinations should market more and sell less. And yes, I did say that. Okay, but you get what I'm saying. Hopefully you do. If not, that's why the chat is here. Make comments, because that's what it's all about. Make comments. So, okay. Of course, I have a intro before I get to what I'm saying, and I'm reading this off of my iPad. My iPad is in my hand. You see it right there. That's my iPad. So if you happen to see something like, what is that right there in the corner? That's my iPad. Okay. So anyway, in today's hospitality landscape, travelers and meeting planners or meeting professionals are more informed than ever. They don't want to be sold to, they want to be inspired. Today, we're talking about why hotels and destinations should shift their focus towards marketing and brand awareness, and let sales become the natural outcome of that visibility. Okay, so, and what was I saying? What was I gonna say? I always say this, right? Because I used to be a director of sales and marketing, right? For I don't know how many hotels, at least five or six hotels. Although I worked at 14 different hotels, but not all in sales. So, and then I had the title of director of sales and marketing. And there's a lot of people that have the title of director of sales and marketing. But I think this is me, okay? And I've been saying this for years. I'm not sure if you ever heard me say this. The title should be director of marketing and sales, because you need to put more more emphasis on the marketing aspect. We put less emphasis on that, because if we market more, at the end of the day, we will be selling more. And basically, you would have people that would call you and not you calling them. Because if we market like we're supposed to, the phones would ring, emails would come across, CVent would be off the chain, off the off the hizzy, off the chain. Okay, I'll just say that. And that'll make salespeople's jobs easier, right? Just like you have with Marriott, right? They have what do you call them? Reactive sales and proactive sales. Okay, the proactive sales are the ones that are actively out there in front of people, engaging, right? Okay. And then the reactive sales are the ones that are just not just, but they're responding to leads that are coming via whatever their system is, or they're getting phone calls or whatever the heck it is. But there's a lot of marketing taking place out from the properties, right? So it's the same kind of thing, right? So we need more people or more things or more visibility, right? It's about being visible. It's about, telling the story about the hotel, or starting with you, but, ultimately you get to the hotel. But that's what it's all about, right? So when I say why hotels and destinations should market more and sell less, that's what it comes down to. And I just don't think, we take it as serious as we should. We have these titles, director of sales and marketing, but we put less emphasis on the marketing than we do on the sales. I mean, less, yeah, yeah, less emphasis on marketing, more emphasis on sales. When you're not going to be around a client every single day. Okay, that's just not going to happen. But you can have a presence without being present, and that's where social media and all the marketing tools that we use, that's where that comes in. That's what that comes into play. So anyway, let's move on. And you heard the intro, right? Did I read it already? You want me to read it again? In today's hospitality landscape, travelers and meeting planners are more informed than ever. They don't want to be sold to, they want to be inspired. Today, we're talking about why hotels and destinations should shift their focus towards marketing and brand awareness and let sales become the natural outcome of that visibility. So, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on the marketing end, the sales part will be easy. That's basically what it means. I have 3 points. I always do three, right? I do things in threes. So let's get to that. Let's see. Where am I on that? Number one. Number one. Marketing creates demand. Sales captures it. Marketing builds awareness and curiosity long before a buyer is ready to book. When your hotel or destination is consistently, that means all the time, that means more than once, consistently visible, sales conversations start warmer, move faster, and require less convincing. We all want warm leads, right? Who wants a cold lead? No one wants that. So the more marketing you're doing, the more they may know about your hotel already. So now it's just a conversation, right? Instead of yet, I'm trying to sell this person. You have any RFPs and this and that. Then you have time to have those relationships, build that trust, and start with building the relationship and build the trust, right? Because before they're going to book with you, they're going to have that. Okay, that's just part of it. Number two, storytelling builds trust faster than pitching. People don't connect with rate sheets. Say that again, Russell. People don't connect with rate sheets. They connect with stories. Marketing allows hotels and destinations to showcase experiences, culture, and personality, making buyers feel confident before the first sales call ever happens. Let me just read that again because I'm just chopping it up right here. People don't connect with rate sheets, they connect with stories. Marketing allows hotels and destinations to showcase experiences, culture, and personality, making buyers feel confident before the first sales call ever happens. And that's what you want, right? So the more we get out, the more we're putting things in front of them. And a lot of stuff could be virtual. Do like being a guest on a show like this, talking about your brand. Like, let's just say I had someone from Margaritaville on here. So it's reinforcing what I've already showed you. I already showed you all the photos of my room, and I talked about a little bit about the meeting space, talked about the cabins and all that. Now, let's say I had someone on here the same time talking about this stuff. Now you're meeting that you have Joe Smith. I'm just throwing someone's name out there. You have Joe Smith. There's a guest on my show that happens to be the representative or sales manager or director of sales with Margaritaville. wouldn't that just reinforce what you said? Oh my God, yeah, I love that hotel. And I happened to meet you before. I saw you on that show on air with Russell of Hotels. It's been posted everywhere on LinkedIn, YouTube, everything. And I saw you on there and we want to book there. Okay, well, at least they know the property already. Because contrary to popular belief, and I always say this, everyone does not know your hotel or your destination exists. They just don't, right? That's why we have to put things out there. That's why we have to continuously um, create that visibility. Okay, be intentional about it. You know that we know that's all buzzwords, right? You know, visibility, intentional, consistency. You know, those are buzzwords, but they're buzzwords that make sense. They're buzzwords that we don't pay attention to. If we paid attention to them, we wouldn't. They wouldn't tick us off when we heard them, right? Because believe me, oh my God, everybody! If I get one more person saying intentional and visibility and consistency, I'm going to scream. Yeah, I understand. But if we do more of that, you know, and see the fruits of our labor, we wouldn't have an issue with it. Okay. So that's, you know, that's what that comes down to. So once again, number two was storytelling builds trust faster than pitching. And number three, marketing. I'm sorry, being top of mind beats being hard to reach. Oh, that's a good one. The brands that win always the brands that win, meaning the ones that get the business, are not always the cheapest. I know that. They're the most remembered. Not always the cheapest, but the most remembered. Strategic marketing keeps your hotel or destination visible so when the time comes to book, you're already the obvious choice because they've seen stuff from you. They've seen that you're consistently sending things out. You're putting things on LinkedIn. You're on air with Russell of Hotels. Your hotel is being showcased on there. Russell talks about it every week. I mean, you're seeing it because it's repetition. It's over and over and over again. You know, most of the times when we go to these shows, we're going to every show under the sun, right? We're going to PCMA, we're going to IPEC, we're going to Destination Southeast, Destination Midwest, whatever. We're going to Connect, we're going to IMAX. We're doing all these shows because we want to be known and noticed, right? We have to be visible. Okay, we're going there to interact with people, but what happens after the shows are over? When you're coming back home. Sometimes we post things, but those are inconsistent. You have to, it's a full-time job almost, right? Those things are full-time jobs. What I do, constantly posting things, not just on behalf of me, but on behalf of hotels. Today happens to be the Margaritaville, right? So it's constantly posting things on the behalf of the company that you work for or behalf of someone that asked me to do it. You know what I mean? So that's what it takes, right? It takes continuously doing it. You can't take days off. In marketing, you don't take days off. So and it's easy to do these things because you know you can have this stuff done automatically sometimes. I mean, depending on the platforms that you're using, you know, automatically it's going to post for you on this certain day at this time. It's going to post for you. Those are things that are doing, or you get someone to do it for you, or you go on a show, you're on a podcast, you get opportunities to go and talk about your brand. That's what you do. You take advantage of that stuff. I do. Anytime someone says, "Hey, you want to come on the show? I got one coming up. I think it's next week. Victorious Endeavors. Ask me, Victor Simmons. Asked me to come on the show. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm coming on the show. When do I need to do it? Because everyone doesn't know who I am, or everyone doesn't know that I exist. Everybody does not know what I do. Same thing with your hotel or your destination. They may have heard of it, but they know the details about it. Do they know who their contact person would be? Do they know what you're capable of doing? Do they know the story behind it? That stuff resonates with people. Okay. The story about that destination or that hotel, those things resonate with people, and people don't forget that stuff. And that's what you need to do. So it's all about being consistent. It's not just one and done. I put out a quote the other day. It said, social media is not a one and done thing. It's consistency, it's visibility, and it's intentional. Okay, those are the buzzwords again, right? But you have to do that. People talk about that all the time, but so few of us understand it. So few of us will we appreciate it to the point where let's do something about it. And that's what it's all about. And sometimes, or a lot of times, we forget that, we don't think about it, or we got other stuff to do, or maybe that's not our job, right? But as a marketing director of sales and marketing, which I say should be director of marketing and sales, we need to pay more attention to that. You should be marketing more. Okay. What is our marketing budget? What's in our marketing plan? That, back in the day, it was, this binder that we used to do every year, and it would sit on the shelf, right? Every now and then we'll look at it, we'll dust it off. We'll dust it off in September because we got to do it again. We'll dust. Yeah, okay, let me take a look at this. Oh, yeah, did we do that? Did we achieve this stuff in here? That's the things that we would do. And I'm sure it's still happening now, because from what I see, I'm not saying across the board for every hotel, every destination. Some people do a good job and some people don't. A lot of people don't. Um, are you referring back to your marketing plans? And who's in charge of making sure things are happening in this marketing plan? Who's in charge of doing that? Who's okaying these things? Because if the people were really taking this stuff serious, the marketing portion, everybody would be talking about it, but everyone's not talking about it. So people like myself, I'm talking about it because those are things that were deficient when I was a director of sales and marketing. Okay. And believe me, I tried to put more emphasis on the marketing part, especially when it came to social media, because that was something that was new, and it was something that was gonna be huge in the future. But a lot of people didn't get it. Now we're getting it, and we're still not doing anything about it. Okay. I had general managers that they had no clue to what the heck I was doing. Okay. And I'm trying to explain to them, well, are we supposed to get business tomorrow? No, because that's not how it works. Okay. It's all about consistency, being intentional, being visible. Now, those are things that 7, 8 years ago, I didn't understand because I was still on property, right? It took me to leave property and see exactly what the heck I was missing out on. Okay, because we're deploying all these people, right? Which we still would deploy them, but we need to, on the marketing end, we need to do a better job on the marketing end. Okay. Our salespeople are doing great. They're getting out there. Well, most of them. Okay? I ain't saying all of them. Because remember, I go to these shows and I meet with salespeople all the time. Okay. And some of them are better than others. So, but you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent in everything that you do, especially when it comes to marketing your brand. Okay. So everyone does not know. And then closing on this part, everyone does not know your hotel exists. Everyone does not know your destination exists. Okay. But there's time. Okay. There's still time to get out there and make sure they do. Right. So once again, my job is to assist with that. And I'll give you my information at the end. Hey, at the end of the day, come on the show. Talk about yourself. This is an opportunity for you to brag about your hotel or talk about yourself, how you got started in this industry, why you got started. Did it choose you or did you choose it? I mean, there's a lot of things, and that's all about storytelling, right? Come tell your story. Be visible, tell your story, do it with intention, and be consistent. Woo! Anyway, I wish I had some music. I just like a doom, like a drum roll or something like that. I wish I had that, but I don't. I don't think I have that capability. Do I have that? Maybe not on this platform. Maybe in the future we will. But anyway, that's what I wanted to go over on that. I'll make sure I put this on my website as well, on the blog, so you can check it out. In fact, did I tell you I was getting my website worked on where I can do things like post something on LinkedIn and it's automatically going to go to my website. That's what I'm talking about. It'll go to the blog on my website. That's what I'm talking about. Automation. Who doesn't need that? So I'm looking forward to that. That whole AI thing, right? That whole AI thing. So, okay, who's hiring? Okay, let's move on. Okay, I've spent enough time on that, and we don't have that much time. It's funny how I start this show and I'm thinking, man, am I gonna do I have enough to talk about? And I always go over, right? I don't know why I think like that, but I can talk, right? And hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. But if not, that's okay. Go to the go go and check out the replay, and then maybe you have to go back and like, okay, I know what he's talking about now. Okay, I got you. I got you. So anyway, so let's go. Let's do this. Who's hiring? Who's hiring? Woodland Hills. Oh my God. Woodland Hills, Hilton, Hilton Woodland Hills. Okay. You guys know I used to work there. That was one. That was my first hotel that they hired me or they promote. What they did they promote me? I was already there as a night manager, but I got into sales at that hotel. They gave me the opportunity to go into sales. So of course I have a fondness in my heart for that hotel, the people that work there, the ownership, Mr. Louis, Stanford Hotels. So yeah, yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to Mr. Louis. Woo woo, Mr. Louis, and the people at the. I'm not sure if there's still some people there that worked there when I was there 100 years ago. Believe that, believe it or not. So the Hilton Woodland Hills are looking for a director of sales and marketing. Maybe I need to put my hat in the ring for that. Redondo Beach Hotel in Redondo Beach. They're looking for a director of sales. Oh, let me back up. The Hilton Woodland Hills, that's located in Woodland Hills. That's outside of Los Angeles. This is for people that don't know the area, but it's outside of Los Angeles. It's in LA County. I would say from downtown, you use that as um, a point of interest. Maybe 45 minutes. I'll say at least 45 minutes, depending on the day. It probably can take about an hour and 45 minutes to get home. But yeah, so from downtown, I'll say about 45 minutes or so. Redondo Beach Hotel, which is in Redondo Beach, and they're looking for a director of sales. The Queen Mary, that's the ship. They're looking for a director of sales as well. Human resource manager, and these are okay. So those three that I just gave you, those are on H Careers or Indeed.com. And then the last three that I'm going to give you, or the last two, they're actually on searchwide.com. So go searchwide.com, and searchwide, for the most part, you get a lot of DMO or CVB positions that are open there, from presidents to sales, associates. Those people, general managers as well. And those would be international. So the first three I gave you are in the greater Los Angeles area, because Queen Mary is in Long Beach, which is right outside of Los Angeles. Redondo Beach is right next to Los Angeles, and Woodland Hills, once again, it's from downtown, it's about 45 minutes. And then human resource manager, Michigan Destination Resort, or there's a destination resort in Michigan. They're looking for a human resource manager. Just go searchwide.com. That position is there. And director of operations for Freeman in Atlanta. Now, Freeman's a company that does exhibits. They sell exhibits for major conferences or just meetings, conferences, conventions. So I guess this position supports the event and exhibit services team. So, and that's out of Atlanta. And yeah, so any of the major conferences or conventions that you do, a lot of time Freeman is the one that sets up all the tables, the pipe and drape, and all the the things that exhibits use for the exhibits. That stuff you don't put that stuff together for the most part. They do it for you, or they'll charge you. They'll run electric and all that. The stuff is expensive as heck. So anyway, it's expensive as heck. But anyway, I don't know why, all of a sudden I get this allergy thing going on. So excuse me. But yeah, we're about to be finished. So anyway, I think that's it. So let me give you my email address. Any questions at all? Oh, and in fact, I won't give you the email address. I will put up this QR code thing here for you. The QR code. Let me put that up there for you. Boom. There you go. So just scan that right there. Boop, 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 boop. Scan that right there, and you got the information, right? So all my information is there. You get my email, you get my website information as well, which is russellofhotels.com. And I'm in the process of getting all that stuff redone, so it's a work in progress. But yeah, so feel free to check that out. So just scan that, and that's going to be something. That's a, the wave of the future. You know what I mean? QR codes. Although QR codes, I was having this conversation with someone a couple of days ago. They said, "Oh, because of whatever QR codes, because of COVID, we now have QR codes." I said, "No, QR codes were in existence probably several years before COVID hit. It's just that we weren't using them because." And some people, there's a debate over this. Are QR codes a good thing? I guess it depends on the type of restaurant. Let's say restaurant or establishment that you're using. Like like in a fine dining restaurant or upscale restaurant, you wouldn't want QR codes because that takes away from the service aspect, right? So because you want people to come to your table and explain the specials and all that kind of stuff, right? QR codes can't do that. It's just a menu, right? Just a menu at the prices or whatever. It takes away that kind of that relationship thing, right? So I think if it's like a fast food place and you just getting your stuff and taking it and go, yeah, I think yeah. But I think we need to think about when we're using these QR codes. That's just what I think. But yeah, but these were in existence several years before that happened, right? So, but anyway, so any questions at all? You got my information there. Just go ahead and do it. My email's there. And like I said, my website. And those are two most important things at this point. So anyway, I think that is it. I think you guys should have a great day. Even if you don't want to have a good day, you're gonna have a good day anyway. So that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. This was show number 327. Appreciate you guys coming on. And I'm trying to get off of here now because I know I'm gonna have to blow my nose in a minute, and I don't want to blow my nose when you guys can see and hear it. Okay, so all of a sudden, normally I have allergy pills that I take, but I didn't take them today. I haven't taken them like in a couple of weeks because I normally don't have this feeling. But today for whatever reason, my nose is running. So anyway, that is it. I believe that's it. So yeah. So is there anything else I need to add before I get out of here? No, I think that's it. So once again, I'm Russell L. Edmond, or Russell of Hotels. There you go. You guys have a great day. We'll do this every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. And then I do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Daily check-in on Monday is devoted to my guest host, Miss Tiffany English. She comes on and we talk about things. That's really a good show, so check that out. And then I'll do one tomorrow. I come up with topics daily, so to talk about, and those shows go roughly about 30 minutes or so. This show here goes close to an hour, although today will be about 40 minutes or so. So that is it. Have a great day. Thanks again. Appreciate